What's up, Amakhosi Network? Welcome to the channel, guys. Please like and subscribe. But today we're talking about Kevin Johnson and actually analyzing the Morocco Swallows game properly, thoroughly, and seeing if there are improvements. One thing I'll say about Kevin Johnson is that I am starting to see the improvements. I went over the game again, and the biggest takeaways I'll say is this. Remember last game when we were doing this analysis, we were talking about box entries. You're gonna see this game when I highlight box entries have really improved. How the team plays, it's not perfect. Look, like what I'll say before I even get to Kevin Johnson, what I'll say is this: Pito has been talking. I think he's back in South Africa while they wait for an opportunity. He has been talking, and I have mentioned before with Pito Msimani that the chance of to get Peter Musimani, it's about 4 to 6 million to pay his whole team per month, and that goes up to like 40 to 70 million. That is the package for Pito's team. Me personally, I like what Kevin Johnson brings to Kaizer Chiefs, but I don't think he's enough. Kevin Johnson is not enough to fix Kaizer Chiefs. If Kevin Johnson came with a good technical team, etc., then yes, I would support him because like we need more than one person. Peter Musimani, Pep Guardiola, Klopp, all these guys are not good because they are good on their own. They put very highly experienced and intelligent people. Don't look at Rulani and think the whole of Sundowns that you see now is Rulani. No, there are so many people who influence how Sundowns perfects their game. Right now, I'll even go as far as this. If you guys follow the football stage Twitter page and even Instagram, the guys highlight youth football. If any of you go to football stage on Twitter and go and watch the videos, even on YouTube, of how the under 13 Sundowns boys play, they play exactly like the first team. Exactly. But that is not built by Rulani. That is built by a number of people. So that's why me personally, I still prefer Pito because we need an institution of what Pito will bring in Chiefs to bring a difference. One coach can't do that. We need a lot. And for me right now, what I'm saying is that we need a product that is proven. If we wait for Kevin Johnson, he's gonna probably bring another technical team member, and we won't know if that guy will work, etc. And another technical, and it will be trial and error. But with Pito, it's not trial and error. You know it will work. But anyway, let's get into the game. Yeah, before I go crazy. First chance, we will see. I wanted to highlight Frosler. Frosler is already ready to go forward. This was fortunately offside for Rumhango, but I just wanted to highlight this to say what you are seeing in this first picture is Frosler already being out of position, and this is what always happens with Frosler. And then recovery hits him. Next picture. Here is the shot that Simpilo Ngobo, well, it was like a pass that he messed up and he could have scored. Here, he was meant to either pass Ranga. In this first picture, you're going to see he was meant to pass, he could have passed Ranga. But I want to actually go to another picture, which actually shows, this picture here, shows that Simpilo Ngobo actually could have taken a shot because what a lot of you guys who have played soccer will understand is that if a goalkeeper is backtracking, it's very difficult for him to dive. He has to hit a stable position and then dive. But here, Agbe is backtracking. So if Ngobo decided to hit a curling shot, Agbe wouldn't be able to dive the way he wanted, and it was going to be a goal, or you could have passed Ranga. Next one. Now this one is Umteto. Another thing, I'm highlighting box entries. Right now we have two players in the box and a third one, which is Froster, trying to enter the box. This specific one, why I wanted to highlight this one is Mteto. Mteto, no, what you did here is very wrong. Mteto, when you're crossing the dangerous area, what I'm showing in this first frame is Mteto crossing, and it won't even reach these guys in the box where I highlighted the dangerous area. It won't. It will even be outside of that dangerous area. So Mteto, these are the small moments we have to fix because we may not score in these moments, but we need to give ourselves the best opportunity to score. And that is what I'm crying for. I'm crying for us doing all the right things. And another thing I wanted to highlight, which is a very big problem, is our first touch. Our attackers have very bad first touches. And in the second frame, you can see the guy who's headering the ball. You can see where Mteta's ball ended up. It's not even. Froster actually had to turn because he saw that Mteta kicked it behind me. So Mteta needs to know, and the technique he used to kick was very useless. Instead of using curling instep, he tried to use the outside of his foot or something like that. It was a very bad choice. And then this one is straight after that chance. Matt went on to take a shot and he kicked wide. But what I want to highlight here is Ranga. Ranga is a reactive player, he's not proactive. In this moment, Ranga is just standing with the defender. And I'm asking myself, as a striker, when you're standing like this, what are you expecting to happen? You need to be proactive. So in this moment, I'm saying a proactive striker would have saw Matt has the ball and he would have immediately turned and may force, how you position yourselves a lot of the times forces your teammate to pass you. So Ranga here was meant to quickly do a little curving run and then open the face of his body, and Yusuf Mat wouldn't have a choice but to pass him because Ranga would be in a better position, but Ranga did not think of that. In this next frame is Mteto. Mteto here hits a long range. When I watched it the first time in the game, I was very upset with Mteto hitting that long range because I thought he should pass to Saile. But now when I think about it, I'm like, if he hit it on target, it was probably going to be a goal. But because he missed, we're all going to talk about the Saile chance. But Saile was a good option. But at the same time, he did take... Like on another day, guys, this goes in. We don't cry. We are happy. So it's one of those things where you'll cry tomorrow, but if he hit the target, it's a goal. So I don't want to fault him too much. This one is where Frosler crosses. I just highlighted where Frosler crosses, but the next frame is what I wanted to really highlight. Then it gets crossed to Hlanti. And I've highlighted a big circle there where I've highlighted the circle. Hlanti here heads it backwards. Instead of heading it right in the middle where Ranga is, and this is what causes Ranga's frustration. There are a lot of moments where Ranga can score goals, but Chiefs players make decisions that make Ranga's life difficult. So here you can already see that Ranga is in the best position and he's onside. But what happens? Hlanti heads it back. Instead of heading it straight, all he had to do was head it straight. Ranga is a tap-in. Easy things. Here at Saile here balloons the ball in this frame, as you can see. But I wanted to show you good. It's 2 against 1 here. All Saile has to do is kick it on the floor. But Saile chips it all the way to the back. If Saile just kicked it to the floor on the ground, it was gonna hit. It was gonna find Ranga or it was gonna find Modi. And what I wanted to highlight here is that the second frame is that if he kicked it, Ranga was number 1. He was probably gonna get it if he kicked it on the floor. If Ranga kicked it and maybe Akpay saved it, or Saile kicked it and it went closer to Akpay and Akpay saved it, who is coming following up? Yusuf Mart. So Yusuf Mart could have got it. But one thing I wanted to highlight, box entries. How many players do we have in the box? 1, 2, 3. Who's joining next? Mart. So it will end up being a thing of being 4 against 3 defenders. So one thing I wanted to show improvements on is the box entries. Very important. This next one is where Matt got the ball. I have a little circle there to be like Matt's first touch is what ruined this chance. Because of Matt's poor first touch, he allowed that midfielder to get in between him and the ball, and that midfielder ended up marking Matt. But you can see if Matt had a better first touch, he either could have taken a shot at Akpay or he could have passed Saile, who is already there coming. So that's what I wanted to highlight there. Here's another Saile chance. Here he actually did find Modi, but here what I wanted to show you, which you will see in the next frame, Modi messed up his first touch. Yes, Saile passed it slightly behind him, but if Modi had a better first touch, he would have angled, his body would have faced more inwards, and he would have had a chance to take a better shot, but he didn't, and then he took a pop shot. So our first touch of our strikers is very bad. That's one thing I wanted to highlight there in this video, is that the basic things are very bad, like our first touches are very poor. This one, I'm gonna go in these frames very quickly, but I wanted to highlight to you guys Castillo. Castillo here just came on for Ungobo. One thing you guys won't see in the other frames if you go back in the video, you barely see Unqobo in the box. Unqobo is very rarely in the box. Unqobo is very rarely in the attacking areas. And why does that upset me a lot of the times is that Unqobo has the best shooting technique in the Kaizer Chiefs, one of the best shooting techniques in the Kaizer Chiefs squad. I'll even argue that Ngobo has a better shooting technique than Castillo, but Ngobo never finds himself in those positions. Frame number two. Frame number two, where is Castillo? You saw he started up the field, now he's bottom of the field, and I circled to say Castillo just came on from Ngob. What I wanted to highlight with Castillo is work rate. Here's Castillo putting pressure, and what you will see in this frame is that this is the moment where we scored the goal. When Castillo came on, we scored the goal, but I wanted to show you the pressure that Castillo is putting on these guys is what also allows us to get the chance. There's Castillo again in the third frame. Castillo is now forcing Phillips to make decisions. Phillips tries to be fancy here, and Matt ends up getting the ball. There's Castillo still up front. And then next frame, Matt has passed Saile, but I wanted to show you the box entries. How many players do we have in the box? We have 3, and Castillo is going to be number 4. It's very important for me to highlight that has improved from Kaizer Chiefs side, and I hope it continues in the next game. In the next frame here, I'm showing again, highlighting box entries. I'm showing you here that there are 3 Chiefs players in the box and there are 3 Swallows players in the box. It means that our box entries is very good. We are doing better than we did in the previous game. And then here, I just wanted to showcase Amtaung Jr. celebrating Ushayama fist pump. But yeah, anyway, next one is, this is the most important part of the goal. And a lot of you were like, you like favoritism. No, I mean, Gonzalez is not my favorite player. I don't really have a favorite player in Kaizer Chiefs. The only player I really want to see play a lot of the times is Shabalala, because I always feel he has something. There's a level he needs to unlock, and I feel like he can only unlock it when he plays. That's the only player I'll say I favor more than other players, or even Ashley Dupree, if one has to say that. But other than that, I don't really have favorite players. I just want better combinations. But here, what I wanted to highlight is Gonzalez. In this moment, Gonzalez, acting like he's going to trap the ball, forced 2 defenders to commit to 1 player. Gonzalez then skipped this chance, and it ended up with Saile, and Saile scored the goal. What I wanted to highlight in that is that Gonzalez, if it was Ranga, I feel like Ranga would be too irritated by all the chances he was not getting. He was going to try trap it, and the chance would be wasted. That's why I said maybe let's start with Gonzalez the next game, and then bring on Ranga second half. Maybe that would work. It's good to give our players a chance. That is all I was saying. I don't favor Gonzalez over Ranga, no. But at this point, guys, if they're not going to even give Wandile Duba a chance, why are we forcing to play 2 people who are not winning? One thing I wanted to highlight, to say to you guys about Ranga, what irritates me about Ranga, is that yes, Ranga does not get supply. We all understand. Yes, Ranga sometimes tries to play a number 9 who comes into the midfield or goes wide, and that doesn't work for what he has to do. I understand all of those things. But I also wanted to say this. And I also understand that our team doesn't always find Ranga. Very valid points, valid points. But another thing I wanted to say is that I've come to realize that Ranga doesn't create his own space. Ranga always runs with defenders. The moment he's not running with a defender, he's either too deep or he's too wide. But when it's in and around the box, he just runs with the defender, and he's counting more on his muscle to quickly outdo the defender. And for me, that's the biggest problem with Ranga, is that he tries to do that too much, whereas Gonzalez is more mobile. He doesn't rely on his strength where he has the strength. Is Gonzalez the best striker that Chiefs can get? No, but what other options do we have? These are the strikers we have at our disposal. We need to figure out ways on how to use them. With regards to Ranga, I feel like when we play with Gonzalez, it gives a lot of our players more freedom, because the defenders, the center backs, because Gonzalez is mobile, they have to run after Gonzalez more than they do with Ranga. And when that happens, it starts creating space for Saile. Because in this moment, you can see that because of Gonzalez's distraction on the ball, Saile got so much space. So that's what I wanted to highlight them. But I wanted to highlight this. I already spoke about Kevin Johnson. I already spoke about his improvements. Box entries have improved. Composure has improved. But one other player I wanted to highlight has improved his way a lot in this game, in this specific game, is Dove. When Dove was playing as center back, there was more balance at Chiefs. So I feel like Kevin Johnson should not break the center back pairing that is currently there. I feel like they work best. I won't say Swallows attacked us a lot for us to really see how good they really are. But one thing I'll say is that the smaller nyana mistakes we often used to see, they weren't as much as previous games. And that is also because of how they're communicating at the back. So I wanted to say that. And that is my analysis of the game, guys. Tell me what you think. Yesterday, I said I'm going to put up the log, and I forgot to put up the log to show that Chiefs is number 6, but could potentially end up being number 14 or 13 if the other teams start winning. Because we've played an extra game than the rest of the other teams. And yeah, guys, here's the log. And I'm also going to put some background music for those who want it. But like and subscribe. Here's some background music. Ah, shut up!